So what should you do when you are traveling far away from your plant babies and you learn one of your favorite rare plants just took a huge spill? I'm going to tell you how to handle this from a remote situation right now. Many plant parents struggle with the fact of having to travel far away from their plant babies and making sure that they are safe and sound and will remain healthy. That was the case with me this past week as I was traveling for work on a week-long trip to Las Vegas, 750 miles away from my home here in Denver, Colorado, with my plant babies, my beautiful plant babies. And I have to tell you, I'm not the sort of person who likes to travel for the sheer fact that I do not like being away from my children, my beautiful, beautiful children, especially my favorite rare ones. But again, that was the case. And I was in Las Vegas for a week. I arrived on a Sunday afternoon, and that Sunday evening, my husband text messages me this. Oh my God, Kevin, check the plant cam. The big plant fell. The big plant, aka my favorite plant, my King Anthurium, my Anthurium Veitchii, that I have had since it was a little baby just under 2 years ago. And I grew it into this behemoth beast, this beautiful behemoth beast. I took this photo the night before leaving on that work trip, only to have Alejandro text me that text that I never hoped to receive. And here's the thing, guys, I had planned this out so far in advance. I spent Saturday into Sunday, the day that I was traveling on Sunday. I didn't sleep at all because I was taking care of all these plants, making sure they were watered, the humidifiers were set up. Ollie was going to take care of all of them, which he did a phenomenal job with, by the way. And I made sure that, everything was taken care of. But I'll tell you, as an anxious plant parent, I think of worst case scenarios. This was not in that worst case scenario pamphlet that I created. And so the big plant, aka my favorite plant, the Anthurium veitchii, did indeed fall from its perch. And he told me to check out the plant cam. And for a while, guys, I couldn't. I literally waited like an hour and a half to look at it because I was beside myself. Right? Let's be honest here. If you're a plant parent who loves their plants, especially particular ones, then you know how tough it can be. And that was the situation. But eventually, I did look at the plant cam, and here's what happened. At first, the plant cam just shows the plant being up there. Some folks are around looking at it, and all the other plants enjoying themselves as they should. That's why the plant display is up there. That's why I have it there. And I'm glad that they got the last look at the King Anthurium before it took its spill. But as soon as Ali sent me that text, when I look at the camera, it shows the moments leading up to it. But what it didn't record, and I honestly feel that it was just doing this to spare me the agony of seeing it. Is that it didn't show the actual fall itself? Thank gosh, because I would not be able to handle it, guys. What it does show, though, is Ollie freaking out. I feel so bad for him because he knows how much I love that plant. And he knows how anxious I was about leaving them behind. It's actually the first time that I have left him to take care of all the plants. Usually I have a plant sitter, but I walked him through everything and all this stuff. And yeah, and I'm glad I did because I love how much he took care of them, and he knew how important it was for me. But yeah, you can imagine if I'm the anxious plant parent who's in Vegas, 750 miles away, and this is anxiety driven for me to receive that text. You have to imagine how anxious he must have been to have to send that text message because yeah, he was freaking out. He was freaking out. But yeah, it shows him picking up the King Anthurium and trying to move it around. And yeah, its longest leaves, 32.5 inches long, and I was heartbroken, and I still am because it's my baby. We grow these plants to their maturity. I'm just getting emotional, guys. I'm sorry. I'll get a hold of myself. But here's the thing. the good news is that really only one of the leaves, one of the newer leaves, because if you click on this video up in the corner, you'll see that this plant, the Anthurium veitchii, started growing a brand new plant, a pup, on its side. And so one of the new leaves from the pup was ripped in half, and the rest of the plant, though, surprisingly, because it is, I mean, you can see it right over my shoulder, it's about 6 feet up on its perch. And I don't know how, but surprisingly, no stems, no leaves snapped off. So that was the good news. The bad news is that I had to wait 1 week until I could return to Denver to see my baby here and assess the damage. And let me tell you, if it wasn't the most important work trip of the year, I probably would have flown back to Denver right away. Which is terrible to say. But yeah, here's the thing. Okay, so I get back, and this was last night. And so this morning during the daytime, I finally get a chance to take a look at it. And I'm just assessing the damage. And what I couldn't see through the photos that Ali sent me in the videos was that there were some tears, and a lot of tears, little tears in its brand new big leaf, some of its other leaves, and some of the newer, smaller leaves from the pup. But overall, the plant's doing fine, and it's doing well. It's going to bounce back. It's just, it's heartbreaking because it's like you have this perfect specimen, and you know what? The heck with it. It still is perfect. But then it gets some like tears in its leaves. But then I remind myself in nature where these plants grow, Anthurium veitchii, as well as the Anthurium warqueanum, the Queen Anthurium, along with the Veitchii King Anthurium, they grow in the tropical rainforests of Colombia. And those plants, boy, when they are dealing with situations out there, I'm sure they get tears and holes through their leaves all the time. So I'm looking at it on the positive side there. But yeah, definitely a difficult situation to deal with. And luckily, somehow, when it fell, because it's on the top of the plant display, like none of the other plants below it, which are other rare plants, were injured, which is kind of shocking. But yeah, oh my gosh, I'll tell you, it was tough. It's tough to deal with and think about. But anyways, I want to tell you guys about some cost effective 5 steps to really kind of deal with a situation like this. But I'm curious to know in the comments right now, do you guys like to travel because because you have to, or just like traveling in general, or are you kind of like me where you try not to travel as much as possible because you don't like being away from your plants? Let me know in the comments. I'm just curious. But yeah, take a look at this camera again because man, oh man, poor Ollie having to deal with all this situation because oh, I don't know how he handled it, but cheers to Ollie for being a rock star husband, and I love him and I appreciate it because he knows how much I love this plant. So we're going to cover solutions right now that are accessible, some of them cost effective, a lot of them actually really. And it's kind of what I do to ensure that my plants are going to be okay once I am gone. So first off, let's get into number one, and that is a do-it-yourself, a smart irrigation system using Wi-Fi plugs and pumps. This can also be for, let's say, your humidifiers, which is what I do. So here's the thing. I have my humidifiers that are a couple different brands. The one brand, though, that I absolutely love, is these babies from Levoit. They are amazing. They are big humidifiers. And the nice thing is that I can control them from my phone just using Wi-Fi. I was able to keep an eye on them and see what the humidity levels were like. I could manually turn them down lower. I could boost the humidity. I can put them on an automatic. And so it was nice because Ali, not really knowing too much about the humidifiers and stuff, and he'd see when they were empty and so forth. But with those Levoit ones, through the VSync app, I could easily get notifications once they were running low, text him and say, hey, these ones need to be refilled. So that was a huge plus, especially if you have a ton of rare tropical plants like I do. man, oh man, did that come in handy because those babies, they need their humidity. Okay, on to step number two, which is assign a plant sitter. Now, like I was saying in the past, I've had a plant sitter, somebody to come in and check on my plants. But it's not always a really easy situation to have unless you are very comfortable or confident with that person's rare plant understanding and knowledge to be able to watch after your plants. Because there is a cool thing where you can actually like assign a QR code guide, and that's as simple as creating custom QR codes for each plant or shelf that you have your plants on. And that QR code, if the person has their phone, can just scan it and it'll link to like a Google Doc or a short video tutorial that you can create, which can assure them and allow them to know how to take care of those plants. And also, what's nice about having a QR code, if you set it up correctly and all that stuff, is that you can have them include progress photos of your plants, so you can keep an eye on them as well, which I absolutely love. Before we continue on, let's check in on my YouTube community poll where I asked you folks a simple question about traveling, and that is, when you know you'll be traveling, what's your go-to method for making sure your plants are cared for? 45 of you chimed in so far, and 24% of you said ask a friend slash family member to plant sit or hire a plant sitter. 18% said set up DIY, do it yourself, self watering solutions like globes, wicks, etc. 56, a majority percentage of you said give them a good soak and hope for the best. And 2% said other. Please explain in the comments. And Ember Marie said, to be honest, since I really got into the plants the way that I have basically since October, I haven't left them for more than like a day. I don't know whether to laugh or cry about that. I I am with you because I find myself in the same situation. I'd like to travel. It sounds lovely. My friends do it all the time, but to be away from these babies is a lot for me. All right, so on to number three, and that is having a plant camera, just like I do. Now, I use these Topo Blink cameras, and I'll tell you, it might sound expensive, but it's really not. In fact, I purchased these on Amazon about 2 years ago, I believe, and the price for them is actually pretty cheap. I mean, I got two of them for $50. And I'll tell you what, I can control them and look at them through an app on my phone, which is nice. My plant camera app. That's how Alejandro told me to check in on them. And what's nice is that you can control the camera by having it pan, tilt around, move it around wherever you want, and all that stuff. So I have two of the cameras, only one of them set up for $49.99. It's a good peace of mind for you to be able to check in on your plants. And trust me, the following days, because I was going to be in Vegas for that week, which I was. Every single day, I was logging onto the plant cam like several times throughout the day, just scanning around just to see how the plants were doing and all that good stuff. So, oh, by the way, when it comes to like the plant cam, the Blink Mini camera that I just featured there, as well as Levoit, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi connected humidifiers. I'm putting all the links to those in the description of this video. So please check them out, purchase them through there. And it would be nice too if you click on those links and buy them through there if you're interested, because they're not really that expensive and it is good peace of mind. But if you purchase them through that link, it'll be synced up with my YouTube channel here, which will help get a percentage for me. Well, not so much for me, but all that money goes back into these plans. So yeah. By the way, if you folks are looking to help out, your views, your likes, your comments always help my channel. But there's a link to the Buy Me a Coffee link for my page as well if you'd like to help donate even the smallest amount to help me and my plants. Mostly my plants, because oh my gosh, the amount of money, as us plant parents know, that we put into our plants every single day is astronomical. But I also don't have children, so that's where the money goes towards. But they are my children. So anyways, On to number 4, the fourth hack here, which is another great one. And that is to have another smart device, which I do. And it is through all of my grow lights. Now, mind you, I've told you folks before, if you look over my shoulders, like all of those grow lights up there above the plants are literally grow lights. I mean, they look really nice because the companies that make them, like Soltech, you have your Sansi, your Barina, they really do a great job at making them aesthetically pleasing. So all of those are grow lights because again, I only have western facing windows here in Denver, and this time of year, not the best light that comes in, but it allows me to know peace of mind that my plants have the light that they need. And what's nice about them is that I have them on these like little Casa smart plugs, which are Bluetooth plugs, and they're super duper cheap. Like I've gotten 4 packs of them when they're on sale on Amazon. Also in the description of this video, 4 of them for like 20 bucks. And it's nice because you can set them on timers, like mine all are. They go on at like 7 o'clock in the morning, and I have them go off at 10 p.m. at night. But again, you can also access them through your phone, through a smart device, and shut them off if you are traveling, which is always a big, big bonus, right? Okay, so on to number 5 now. It is a thermal blanket for cold sensitive plants. Now, if you are traveling during colder months, use emergency thermal blankets, those thin silver ones, to like line shelves or wrap around clear bins. They retain warmth and stabilize a microclimate. So I've never done that before, but I know plenty of people who have, and it always works to their benefit. So I'm also curious in the comments below, let me know other hacks that you guys have or what you do when you are traveling far away from your plant babies. Because I'll tell you what, I don't have any trips lined up in the near future, and I don't plan on having any more trips lined up for a while after this situation. But I am incredibly grateful for Ollie because he really rocked it. I know how anxious he was, knowing how anxious I am when I have to be away from my plants. So, good husband, awesome job. I want to thank you guys so much for watching another one of my plenty videos. And if you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell for more fun and interesting planty content just like this. By the way, if you wanted to know more about my King Anthurium, my Anthurium Veitchii, just click on this video up here in the corner because that was a video I did maybe like a month prior to this whole spill and accident about how to get those big long leaves like that baby has. So time to take care of my plants some more. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.